We must start, in the first place, facing the most pressing short-term problems. And at the same time, we must design a regulatory framework that acts as a safeguard to avoid the errors that have been made will be repeated in the future. But the design of tomorrow's architecture cannot be an excuse for not fighting immediate problems at their root, because it could happen that we may end up having a prescription for not falling ill in the future, but while designing it, we may have already died from the illness we have at this moment and for which we have not yet found a cure. And this means, above all, fighting the recession, that is, reactivating the economy and truly overcoming the financial crisis. And in these two fields, we will only succeed in Europe if we work on a European level. The United States has been faster and more efficient responding to the crisis, among other reasons, because in the United States there is a federal government. This means a federal budget and a treasury. Some of the biggest European countries are leaving recession behind. Europe may look to the future with confidence. It has good foundations, and in my opinion, the crisis should reinforce the validity of the European social model as a wise combination of government and market. Yet, only national responses are not effectively enough, because today the real economic playing field is Europe, and European economies are very integrated. Europe is more necessary than ever, but at the same time, European institutions don't have enough instruments and enough political power. This is why strengthening the political integration of Europe is today a decisive challenge to make a right response to the crisis. Finally, let me make some brief remarks about how Catalonia and Spain are placed in the face of the crisis. Catalonia is a dynamic and solid economy. By far, Spain's main economic engine. Total GDP is about 235 billion euros in purchasing power parity terms, higher than that of 16 of the 27 members of the European Union, with a GDP per capita that is 12% above that of the Eurozone. Catalonia has very solid foundations. We are an open and innovative economy with a productive industrial basis, and we aspire to stay as one of the leading regions in Europe. This Congress is a good opportunity to reaffirm two of Catalonia's most defining characteristics, which we are very proud of and which are also among the most important priorities of its government. Catalonia's openness to the world and its commitment to excellence. Catalonia is a cosmopolitan country, open to cultural, economic and scientific exchanges. A country that is not afraid, but rather quite the opposite of sailing in open waters. We firmly believe that sharing with others, competing with others, is the only way to reach our full potential. We know that opening doors and windows to let in fresh air is always a positive thing. Catalan society wants also affirm its commitment to the pursuit of excellence in all fields of human knowledge. Economics, of course, is no exception. Catalonia's economic researchers and scholars are very active participants in global networks of knowledge generation. And today's event is clear evidence of this fact. As you see, I have good reasons to consider the celebration of this meeting especially appropriate and timely. And we are proud to host this meeting in Barcelona and in Catalan. I am sure that the debates and academic work presented in this Congress will go a long way towards restoring the public trust in economic science and in the contributions it can make to the prosperity and well-being of our societies. Thank you very much and enjoy your stay in Barcelona. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castells, and it's a great pleasure for all of us to be in Barcelona, in Catalonia, and in Spain. And thank you so much for having us. I must also thank the institutions which are hosting us. Well, the overall institution is the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics, and its 4 founding academic bodies which compose that graduate school. The Department of Economics and Business of Pompeu Fabra University, the Unit of Economic Analysis of the Autonomous University of Barcelona, the Institute for Economic Analysis of CSIC, and the Centre for Research in International Economics. Thank you all. And I would also like to thank the 2 universities for letting us stay at the Bellaterra and the Ciutadella campuses, and we have had a very good time here at the Bellaterra, and we look forward to that time at Ciutadella. It's a special honour to have with us President Barroso and Minister Castells, not because of the outstanding leadership that they have given, but also because they're academics. They're one of us. And we like to think that the habits of thought, clarity of thought, interest in ideas, respect for evidence, I think we happen to believe that those are actually quite good for policy making. So it's very comforting to us all to see those who've studied and worked in academic life, particularly in social sciences, taking a role in such a leading role in policy making. Now, the European Economic Association itself is 25 years old next year. It has 2,600 members, and it's a genuinely self-built European institution. We are not an amalgam of national institutions. We join as individual Europeans, and we discuss as Europeans. Of course, we welcome all others, as we should, but we join this association as individual Europeans. We fund ourselves on subscriptions, institutional support, and our sponsors, to whom we're very grateful. We do a lot, but of course, with more resources, we could do much more. I move on. This is a time of reflection and self-examination for economists. We have to ask ourselves how well we have done with what we know. Have we put it to good use? We have to challenge ourselves just as strongly, indeed more strongly, than others are challenging us. And I think we have a lot to learn from that process, but we're doing it, and I hope we're drawing the lessons. But I also think that the past 20 years or so in economics has been an extraordinarily creative period. I won't try to list the ways in which it has been, but the understanding of interactions, the understanding of behaviour, the understanding of institutions, the understanding of the objectives of societies and economies in terms of well-being and justice, I think have all moved very strongly, and I believe that we can and will put those insights to use, and I will say something a little bit more about that in my address tomorrow.